Hi Ram students. In the previous videos, we have learnt about the different components of the cell. We studied about the cell wall, cell membrane and the nucleus. In this video, we are going to learn about the different types of cells. The prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cell. We have already studied this in class 8. Let us revise it one more time, okay? What are prokaryotic cells? Prokaryotic cells are the simplest cells. In this diagram, we have a prokaryotic cell. Look at the structure of this cell. It is very simple. They have a simple structure. They are generally small. They are between 1 to 10 micrometers. So, they are very small compared to the eukaryotic cells, and they have a very simple structure. You can see over here. This is the structure of a prokaryotic cell, and they are the simplest cells. The name prokaryote itself gives us a hint about the structure of the cell. The word karyo means nucleus and pro means before. So prokaryotic means before nucleus. They don't have a well-defined nucleus. The nuclear region of the cell may be poorly defined due to the absence of a nuclear membrane. They do not have a nuclear membrane. So the nuclear region is poorly defined because they do not have a covering or the nuclear membrane. See here, we can see the nuclear region. It is poorly defined because it is not bound by a nuclear membrane. It does not have a outer covering. Such an unidentified nuclear region containing only nucleic acids is called a nucleoid. So this undefined nuclear region which only has nucleic acids is called a nucleoid. So in prokaryotic cells, they have a poorly defined nucleus because they do not have a nuclear membrane. And this undefined nuclear region is known as nucleoid, and it only contains nucleic acids. Cell organelles are absent. Other cell organelles are not there in the prokaryotic cells, and they only contain a single chromosome. Now let us look at the eukaryotic cell. This is a diagram of a eukaryotic cell. We can immediately see so many differences, right? We can see a well-defined nucleus. We can see different cell organelles. Let us learn about eukaryotic cells. The word eukaryotic itself gives us a clue about the structure of the cell. Karyo means nucleus and eu means true. So it has a true, well-defined nucleus. Eukaryotic cells are bigger in size. They range between 5 to 100 micrometers. So they are bigger when compared to prokaryotic cells. Nucleus is present. Well-defined nuclear region is present. And nucleolus is also present. They have a well-defined nucleus. Cell organelles are present. So other than the nucleus, other cell organs are also present in eukaryotic cells. Chromosomes are more than one. They contain more than one chromosomes, whereas prokaryotic cells had a single chromosome. Eukaryotic cells have more than one chromosomes. Here is a very nice picture showing the differences between eukaryotic cell and prokaryotic cell. This is a very nice diagram and you can easily understand the difference. You may see that the eukaryotic cell has a well-defined nucleus region. Can you see here? Yes, they have a well-defined nucleus region, the eukaryotic cell, whereas prokaryotic cells do not have a well-defined nuclear region. Now let us learn the differences between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. I have prepared a tabular column. You also copy this in your notebook, students. Okay? First, on the basis of size. Prokaryotic cells are generally small. They range between 1 to 10 micrometers. And the eukaryotic cells are larger in size. They range between 5 to 100 micrometers. The difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell on the basis of nuclear region. In prokaryotic cell, the nuclear region is undefined nuclear region containing only nucleic acids is called nucleoid. Whereas eukaryotic cells have a well-defined nuclear region and are surrounded by a nuclear membrane. So in prokaryotic cells, the nuclear region is poorly defined. They lack a nuclear membrane and the nuclear region contains nucleic acids and it is called as nucleoid. Whereas in eukaryotic cells, the nuclear region is well defined and surrounded by nuclear membrane. The difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell on the basis of chromosomes. Prokaryotic cells contain a single chromosome, whereas eukaryotic cells contain more than one chromosomes. In prokaryotic cells, there is only one chromosome, whereas in eukaryotic cells, there are more than one chromosomes. And prokaryotic cells do not have other membrane-bound cell organelles. So, on the basis of cell organelles, the membrane-bound cell organelles are absent, whereas in eukaryotic cells, the membrane-bound cell organelles are present. So, did you understand the difference, students? Let us summarize what we have learnt in this video. First, we learnt about prokaryotic cells. We learned that they are small and they have a simple structure. The nuclear region is poorly defined. There is no nuclear membrane. Hence, the nuclear region is poorly defined. And the undefined nuclear region containing nucleic acids is known as nucleoid. The undefined nuclear region which is present in the cell which contains nucleic acids is known as nucleoid. They do not have a properly defined nucleus. And then we learnt about the eukaryotic cells. The eukaryotic cells are bigger in size. They have a well-defined nuclear region. They have a nucleus and a nucleolus is also present. And cell organelles are present. They contain more than one chromosome. So, go through the video again, students, and then answer these questions. The first question is, you need to fill in this tabular column. This is the difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. You need to fill in the blanks. Okay? Thank you. Sai Ram.